Oh, the twist, isn't it? Love that one. Love that one. Oh, that was a very controversial collection.
Yes.
The clochard.
Why did people find that?
I think they misunderstood it, because I mean, at this point I had started running and discovering what I call the wet world in Paris. I was running by the Seine, and for me it was all very Marlon Brando on the waterfront. There's a whole world by the Seine, and the building, the architecture looks completely different. It's all, you know, normally when you're in Paris, it's all the 18th century stuff when you're on street level that's lit. Down there, it's all the modern bridges and everything, and the 18th century goes back, and it's a silhouette. It was very Marlon Brando, very exciting, and that's why I chanced upon these magnificent looking creatures, fantastic. And in my head, I'd imagined that they had chosen this. Like, they weren't what they call the homeless people, or I think it was the GFS or something they call them. It wasn't that at all. There was one guy that I'd run past a lot, and he just looked really majestic in his layers. Imagine him being an impresario at some point, because he had that hat. The hair at one time had been cut into such that it had just grown like that now, you know. But he still had cufflinks. They were all thread though. He just looked amazing. And then the totally, out of this necessity came this style.
Yeah.
And there I saw this lady, well, some people might call her a bagger. To me, she was a ballerina, and she danced her last dance on the stage, right? And she'd taken all her favourite pieces under the bridge, and she was living there now, because that's the way she wanted her life to be. She still had the stage makeup on, but she started to wrap newspaper around her to keep her warm. It wasn't a tutor anymore. A slightly mad feel to it as well. So nothing but respect, and it was the romantic side of these people that, you know, I grew up with Charlie Chaplin. That's the difference. I think some people took it the wrong way.
I think the Americans didn't understand it. The Americans are very sensitive, oversensitive, I think, about many of these things.
Yeah.
They really thought that you were making fun of the...
No, it was. No, they couldn't be more wrong. It was the poetic side of how these people look, and the romantic,
the grandeur, and the dignity,
and the fact that they're brave enough to choose this fucking life. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Not all of them have been pushed into, and also
walked away from society.
And it's a reality. It's a reality. You know the sad thing. That happened like a week after that show, when I carried on running. They'd all been moved along, which was really sad.
So they made hopeless.
Well, I hope they've been taken somewhere, maybe. And I'm sure this summer, when they'll be back, I'm sure.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah. But it is a reality, and it did exist, and it did inspire me.
I know you can't clean everything up. This is the underbelly of city life, and it's what gives it its throb or its pulse, you know. What I love about cities, particularly perhaps London, is nowadays, you know, after the bombs were dropped and flats were built, you can have really very poor people next to really very grand people. You can have houses worth $1 million right next to a council estate.
It's like uptown New York, isn't it?
Exactly.
You cross over that street and you're like that.
Yeah, and you get this marvellous mix of people, from the very poorest to the very grandest. And I think it's a terrible mistake to try to sweep the poor away. Have you ever been to India?
Not yet, no.
You have to go to India.
Yeah.
India will blow your...
Well, I'm glad you just mentioned India. I'm really glad, because I thought how hypocritical a lot of the people that criticised this collection were, because there were other designers in the past and even today that had gone to India, and there's extreme beauty and extreme poverty, but it was okay for them to do that, you know. It was okay.
Because it's a long way away.
Yeah. And when Mr. Saint Laurent took, you know, Yugoslavian embroideries or it's okay, he could do that. Or if someone could do boho chic, that was okay. And I just thought, how hypocritical. It's like, and Gypsies was very vogue at the time and was featuring in a lot of magazines. You know, there are people that have been driven out, on and on and on.
Homes people constantly being moved on.
Yeah, but that's okay, because it has, I feel, become a part of the fashion vocabulary, whereas the clochard hadn't quite yet But it was nice to, you know, one of the things that really spurred me on to do this as well, I was just fascinated with all the work that went on in the innards of these garments, you know, the herringbone stitch and the cross stitch, the patch stitch and all that, and to show how beautiful that work is. You know, things weren't really ripped. That wasn't real newspaper, you know, it was printed on shift. I mean, it called on all the amazing technical skills of the atelier to do that. Yeah. Things weren't just torn, but threads were pulled one by one. Yeah. And it was very beautiful, I thought. But interesting as well, I think. An interesting one, that one.
I think what it did was, I think it got a little too near home. You know, people, I always do. I mean, if I walk past someone who's begging, if I haven't got anyone else, for the next couple of blocks I feel terrible, I feel wretched and guilty. Almost like you feel like, I'm going to go in and buy a packet of fags, so I've got some change to go back and give it in. You know, and I think that makes a lot of us uneasy. And you put it right in their face. It's different if it's India, it's a long way away.
Yeah.
It's different if it's gypsies.
If it's on your doorstep.
Gypsy,
yeah.
But it was right on our doorstep.
Yeah.
I thought it was a brilliant collection. Courageous and marvellously conceived. And I thought it was terrible that people didn't understand. But that is always going to be the problem. And you can't, as you said earlier, you can't let that worry you. You have to do what you have to do.
No, I think one can become so sensible. I mean, my goodness, we'd get nowhere if we started to say, well, what is so-and-so things? Oh, we can't really do that because have you heard what's just happened in London? No, I don't think you'd get anywhere, would you, really?
No.
No, you have to do what you believe in.
Absolutely.